Yo, yo, yo.
Yo.
First Choice Fantasy Podcast. We're back. Episode 8, Snowman type. You see it? What are we going to dive into today, Brandon?
Running backs.
He said running backs. Okay.
Running
Do it. Alex, let's get it. Running back. Come on.
Do it.
Do it. One time.
Please do it.
Do it for the fans.
No, my neck doesn't
You have to show, something. A shimmy.
You got 20 fans. You might get some more if you do it. Okay.
There it goes.
I moved. I don't
The
dance.
likes are flowing in now.
Yeah, all 3 of them.
I think we should gain a couple thousand subscribers just from that one little move.
I mean, if that was the case, I might do it more often, but it's going to take that for me to dance. All right, let's get this intro rolling.
Let's cut to the intro. Boom, boom.
I said, baby, I am not the one to play with. Ain't the type to give up, I'm driven and motivated. I just want some recognition and some compensation. But this ain't about the money and it ain't about the fame. I got lightning in a bottle, I think I just found my perfect sound. Can you see the fire in my eyes? Bitch, it's burning out. Lightning in a bottle, I think I just found my perfect sound. Can you see the fire in my eyes? Bitch, it's burning out.
And we're back.
We're back, and we're going to dive right into these RBs, these HBs, all the backs. Not the fullbacks, so fuck them people.
No.
Let's start with Alex, though, because, we love the alphabetical order. So Alex is going to go first here. Let's hear it, Alex.
All right. I got Derrick Henry, number 1. Taylor, Fournette, Johnson, Hines, Evans, Johnson, Mac, Thompson, Armstead. I'm assuming the Titans' offense will still run through Derrick Henry, so he's kind of a no-brainer. Jonathan Taylor probably won't necessarily be on the field a ton on third downs, but he's still really fucking good, and I think he's better than Marlin Mac. And even if they want to make Marlin Mac the starter, because Taylor has to earn his keep as a rookie, yeah, whatever, dude. It's going to be Taylor. I get that's not a guarantee, and Trent Richardson was a bust, and plenty of other great college running backs were a bust, but I like Taylor. Taylor's going to be good. You heard it here first. Fournette at 3, just because he has probably a huge workload, although I'm not really a huge Fournette fan. And David Johnson at 4, even though I've trashed David Johnson a lot in previous videos, someone's got to be number 4, and he's still going to get a fuckload of touches. And while he wasn't necessarily efficient with those touches last year or the year before, he sometimes produced fantasy points with them. So look for him to hopefully do that again if you buy him.
Anytime Alex says, I only put this person here because I had to, you know damn well he doesn't like the guy. So just steer clear of him, okay?
That's right.
I would be steering clear of them. Fournette and Johnson, I feel like there are better alternatives available where those guys are getting drafted. After Johnson, ranking these next 4 guys was kind of difficult for me. I think Hines could potentially take a step forward with Rivers because I feel like he has the ability. It just hasn't necessarily translated to in-game results. But, maybe he can take that Eckler role. Maybe not. I don't know. I know Rivers likes to throw at his running backs. And Hines will be on the field for third downs at least, so that's why he's there. Evans, pretty much the same thing. I think the Titans wouldn't have spent a third-round pick on a running back if they didn't believe in him. Hopefully he can take that Dion Lewis role. Hopefully not the Dion Lewis of last year who disappeared and didn't do a damn thing. Hopefully the prior Dion Lewis that was actually fantasy relevant. And then you've got another third down back, Duke Johnson, who I just think is less explosive than the previous 2 names. Then you've got Marlon Mac at 8, who's not that great and whose job is about to be taken. And you've got 2 Jacksonville backups who will probably both get hurt. Chris Thompson has hypothetical third down back upside, but when's the last time Chris Thompson has actually played a game?
Last year.
How much of that game?
I think he actually let me pull up the numbers. Give me 1 second. He played in 11 games, believe it or not.
Wow.
And the games that he did good against were Philly in week 1 with 11.3 points, which is snazzy. Come on now. And then 12.8 against Chicago. I mean, those are startable flex options. Come on, man. Don't diss.
Yeah.
That's why he's at number 9. In the event that Taylor just absolutely pushes Mac to the curb, maybe Thompson's a more appealing option, but I don't really like the guys at the bottom of this list.
So what is the cutoff for you as far as rostering?
I would roster the top 8 guys, if only to move some of them. Mm-hmm. I don't like Fournette and Johnson necessarily. I'd probably try to move them for other players. And I don't believe in Marlon Mac at all. I would just try to find somebody who thinks that he's going to keep his job or something. I don't know, Hines, Evans, and Johnson, and just running backs kind of shitty this year.
This is
Yeah.
true.
very shitty. So it's not a bad option to have those guys that like could be semi decent, especially in like PPR, half point PPR leagues, because those are all third down backs. Decent options to have lying around, even if they're not starters. Solid like RB3 maybe. If you're starting one of them as like your second running back, then good luck. But
You're probably not going to win your league. You heard it
Yeah,
here first.
I think as a general drafting strategy, in previous years, I have fully believed in the like heavy receiver idea. That a lot of really running backs are going to get hurt, and there's some running back depth, so draft a fuck ton of receivers and just snag some running backs late. That is not going to work this year, I don't think.
Not at all.
No.
At least like in the dynasty draft that we've done, if you tried to do that, I guess dynasty is different than redraft, but even then, like a lot of the good running backs are gone by like round 6. You're talking like barren wasteland.
Yeah.
I'd grab them running backs early. Grab you a Hines at the end of the draft if you're looking for someone who could potentially fill in every now and then.
It's like a Tariq Cohen type of thing, yeah.
Brandon, you want to get into this here list of yours?
Oh, yeah. Derrick Henry is a nice running back 1. Start the list. And then you got Jonathan Taylor, same reasons as Alex pointed out. And then it does a little shimmy with David Johnson at 3, Fournette at 4, and Mac sneaks his way into the top 5. And then you got Hines, Evans at 7. You got Johnson at 8, and Thompson at 9, and Armstead at 10. So
now I'm about to put you on the podium here.
Put me up there.
Why Mac over Hines?
Why Mac over Hines? It's not that I believe the Colts are going to not think Jonathan Taylor is worthy, quote unquote, worthy of the starting job. I just think it's going to be a health saving him for the future ordeal, because Mac is a serviceable running back. Taylor has had years of large workloads in college, am I correct? With their bad history at running back, I believe they're going to try and save Jonathan Taylor for the future, because maybe Phillip Rivers isn't their win now type of player, so maybe they want their win now type of running back saved for when they got that quarterback to pair.
Well,
I think Mac is a good transition back to help.
Hines will probably be playing on third down.
I agree. I think Hines will get...
Marlin Mac will not be playing on third down because he can't catch and he can't pass block. Not exactly great third down traits. So there's only so many first and second down carries to go around. And I just feel like a lot more of them are going to go to Taylor, and Mac's not going to get – he's going to be, like, touchdown dependent, you guys mean. Like, if he doesn't break one of those runs off for a long run, then it's just not going to happen.
And that might be because you might be valuing Hines a little bit more, because my value on Hines, it's not very
as you see, I'm
high.
valuing, like, more of that third down back in general over Mac, which is why I have all 3 of those third down backs. I think all 3 of those dudes are pretty similar in Hines, Evans, and Johnson.
Yeah.
Because I see all 3 of us have them ranked Hines, Evans, Johnson. It's just you guys have Mac over top of them, and I have Mac underneath them.
I respect the choice to put Hines up there because he provides a different skill set, a skill set that goes along with Phillip Rivers very well. So I'm not
I just like the
saying
archetype.
Your ranking is wrong, but I don't think they're gonna want Taylor. I'm not saying Taylor's gonna get hurt, but looking at it as a team, he's hoping Taylor's the franchise running back. I'm assuming they recognize his workload in college and maybe want to ease him into the NFL and keep
So what do you
him
think, like
healthy
15
for
carries
longer...
a game? What do you think, like 15 carries a game?
That's fair.
So what does that leave Mac,
15.
like 7?
I'd say like 10 to 12.
How many? They got to run the ball 40 times a game?
It's 10 to 12 more carries than Naeem Hines. Well, that's like 5 to 6.
So Hines is going to get passing work.
And Hines will get
I think Mac will also get passing work.
You think?
I think people are kind of like, okay, so obviously you guys know my opinion changes drastically.
You were the one pushing the Marlin Mac hands are terrible before
I was pushing that until I educated myself. I was wrong. I mean, I don't know if I was wrong.
I just think the talent is going to overcome.
As far as what you think, Hines more talented in the receiving game, just
a better receiving back. Taylor is a better running back. Mac can't pass block.
it's fair. I don't know, because of the fact that obviously Nyheim Hines is going to get that receiving work, like you said. I think in PPR formats, he's definitely, I think, going to outscore Mac. But I think it could be a toss-up if it's like half PPR or even just standard. If it's standard, I think you can definitely see Mac outscoring Nyheim Hines. But it just depends on the league type.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't want to say this yet, but I'm just going to say it. You guys, when Brandon was talking about Nyheim Hines and Marlon Mac, I swapped
Yeah, I saw that.
Mac and Hines.
that.
Yeah. I wasn't sure because, like, it's a toss-up to me. I can't – if Nyheim Hines actually gets all of the passing work, like, well, majority, like 90% of the passing work, then hell yeah, he's going to finish above Marlon Mac. But if it's going to be like a split between all three of them or just two of them, I can see Nyheim Hines finishing below Marlon Mac.
But what's changed from this year to last year? Other than the quarterback change, you have Nyheim Hines with Marlon Mac. And how relevant was he with just Marlon Mac? And now he's got Jonathan Taylor and Marlon Mac.
See, to me,
what's all of a
if their
sudden
running back
he's gonna get all
rotation
the-
before was Mac, Hines, Wilkins, to me now it's Taylor, Hines, Mac.
I get what you're saying there. I
do, yeah.
He's basically going to be pushed. I don't understand why they would. Mac's not. He's leaving after this year.
Yeah,
I
He's
agree,
on the
and
last
that's
year of his
why I
contract.
think
He's out. So I don't. Well, my thing is, why would they push a more talented player in Hines out of the third down work just to like help Mac develop for something that he's not going to do for them because he's going to leave in free agency? I think like his fantasy points are going to be earned on first and second down, which also happens to be where Jonathan Taylor is going to be better than him at.
Obviously, there's two different players and whatnot, but like you've seen Leonard Fournette go from like anemic target share to 100 targets this past year.
Yeah, like 70-some catches.
Like, I mean, I'm not going to say, okay, what I believe is that Marlon Mack will get more than 20 targets this year. It's like the Patriots situation with Sony Michel, but I think since James White and Rex Burkhead are both proven receivers, like they've been used as receivers like consistently. Nyheim Hines, he has been, but I mean, last year he only had 58 targets compared to 81 his rookie year. Like his opportunity share is just decreasing, and I mean, I think
it'll go up with Rivers and the team. It seems optimistic about him.
I just think it's a bunch of balloon. Like, I mean, you can hear anything about the team pushing this, the team pushing that, but like,
yeah,
the Eagles wanted Jefferson. You heard that get pushed constantly. They didn't take him.
I don't think that was true. I think the media was pushing that. The team never came out and said like, we want obviously, and just obviously like the Colts wouldn't come out and be like, yeah, well Hines sucks, so we're going to give that job to somebody else.
Well, that's just all about what you believe.
Yeah.
Now, as you can see, I'm not just saying that Hines himself is a superior player. I'm just taking that third down back over the number 2 guy in a rushing tandem.
Understandable.
And I just want to point out, I actually had this is diverting away from the Mac Hines discussion, but towards the Taylor Johnson and the rankings discussion. I considered making Johnson my number 2. I know Alex won't like that. Yeah,
I understand
my number 2.
I understand it. However, I think Taylor's extremely explosive, and he's a great running back, and he's going to show that, and he's going to get touches and do stuff with them.
I believe it. I also could believe Johnson. Johnson, I think, will be used very heavily, and if he stays healthy, I really think he could, perform really well with the Texans.
Depends if he's got anything left, because based on the last couple of years in Arizona, he really didn't, but maybe this revitalizes him a little bit. That's a worthy gamble. It's a gamble I'm not willing to take.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. So at 7, I have Evans. I like Evans just in the spot because if I want anyone to get third down roles, I'd want it to be Evans. And plus, games where the Titans are losing, they're going to divert away from Henry, and it's going to be more heavily reliant on the receiving back in that situation, and that's Evans. As for the Texans, if they fall behind, they can rely on Johnson, or the Colts, if they fall behind, they can rely on their two other serviceable running backs. So I have Evans there just because I think he's got the most upside at that receiving back role.
My question is, what do you think makes the difference from last year? Do you see Deion Lewis's usage was just minimal, very minimal, and
I think it was because he sucked.
I don't know if he sucked. I mean, and even then, do you think Deion Lewis is worse than Darington Evans?
Yes.
Unproven rookie.
Right now, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I just think Deion Lewis is old. He's like 29, and that's not old for some guys, but that's old for running back. I think he lost a step.
And plus, I don't think the Titans can really sustain the use of what Derrick Henry has gotten, at least the back half of the season last year. So that's where my opinion comes in with Evans, is I don't think what they had last year is sustainable, and I think they're going to have to divert some attention to another back. And bringing in a young third-round draft pick, I think he'll get opportunity.
I think it was an admittance by the team that Lewis just didn't have it anymore because they stopped using him. They let him walk. It's not like the Giants signed him to very much. I'm sure they could have retained him if they wanted to, but they decided we're going to spend a third-round pick, which is a somewhat significant asset to spend on a running back.
Plus, I like Deion. Season before he got traded, I really liked him. I followed him through his last year with the Patriots, and he was a human joystick. It was fun to watch. And then I got Mr. Duke Johnson. If you're in a league and get a trade request for a Texans running back and you see D. Johnson, be careful. Because if you've noticed, there's David and Duke Johnson.
Alex wouldn't accept either one, but go ahead.
True, but yeah, I don't got much to say about why he lands here. I guess, like Alex would say, someone has to go at 8. I think Thompson landing at 9. My reasoning for this is because I don't think Fournette will also sustain that receiving work he had last year, because that was insane. It feels strange watching Fournette catch the ball. So I think bringing in a receiving back, I think Chris Thompson, while being healthy, he might receive some passes. And then you got Armstead. Just someone to throw in. He has some very, very, very slim wooden roster.
Intriguing if Fournette gets hurt. Sort of.
Yeah. And Fournette's also, like, his situation with the Jaguars seems very fragile. Yeah. And that's my rankings of this beautiful, very frustrating division.
All right. Let me jump into mine right here. Starting off the division, same top 2, Derrick Henry and Jonathan Taylor. Derrick Henry, last year, obviously, an insane amount of touchdowns, highly effective, crazy amounts of opportunity. He lost Jack Conklin this offseason, and we're gonna have a diagram pop up right here. It shows the running success by Derrick Henry, depending on which hole he hits, and it shows on the right tackle he was the most effective in comparison to every other hole, which Jack Conklin played last year. So it could have it could have a little bit of an effect on Derrick Henry's success as a runner. He averaged every 7.5 carries to the right side, Derrick Henry would get 1 10-plus yard run, and that was a higher rate than any other hole or any other direction on the line. Also has the easiest running back schedule this year, according to Warren Sharp. Brandon, I think you know him. He's from the Lefko show.
Yep.
Pretty trusted analytical mind. Yeah, nothing much else to say for Derrick Henry. Jonathan Taylor at 2, Leonard Fournette at 3. Okay, so I can possibly see these two switching. The only reason why I have Jonathan Taylor at 2 is because the unknown with him is, I think it's just, he was a stud at Wisconsin, okay? 3 straight 2,000-plus all-purpose yard seasons. You know he's a great talent, great athlete. Comes into a situation which I thought was personally the best situation for him, the best offensive line. The division wasn't even that great, and the competition isn't top-notch. I mean, Marlin Mac, who the fuck is Marlin Mac compared to Derrick Henry or something like that? But I could see him finishing lower than Leonard Fournette for sure, but the unknown with him makes him at 2. Leonard Fournette at 3. Last year he had 100 targets. Okay, he had more receptions last year, 76, than he had combined targets in 2017 and 2018. That just blew my mind looking at that. I was like, what the fuck? That just kind of disturbed me a little bit. But you should definitely expect his opportunity to drop just because, like that, what I just said, it's kind of like a spike in his opportunity share. Definitely not going to see another 100 targets this year. If he does, I'm willing to bet any amount of money on it. Just DM me real quick, set that up. He was also pretty efficient last year with Minshew compared to Foles. I didn't look at the splits with Blake Bortles or any other quarterback in Jacksonville, but with Minshew last year, he had 4.43 yards per carry compared to the 3.75 he had with Nick Foles. Obviously, smaller sample size and whatnot, but it's proven in the NFL when you have a mobile quarterback, you're likely going to be more efficient as a running back. You're going to have more yards per carry. You've seen it with Mark Ingram. You've seen it with Devin Singletary even. Not a great athlete, not even a great running back, but he was highly efficient due to the fact that he had a mobile quarterback. David Johnson at 4, Nyheim Hines at 5, Marlon Mac at 6. So with David Johnson.
You mean Mac at 5 and Hines at 6? Or?
Yeah, my bad. Marlon Mac at 5, Nyheim's at 6. With David Johnson, obviously, he's not going to be a top-notch running back this year. I did say before, I'm pretty sure I said he could be a running back too. Kind of weaning off on that just because of the fact, I mean, obviously he's older. Obviously he's gotten injured. Obviously he's lost a step. I also don't see him getting nearly as many opportunities as he did with Arizona, especially in receiving, just because of the fact that Deshaun Watson and just mobile quarterbacks alone don't really dump off to running backs all that much. So David Johnson's opportunities could be limited, and they're definitely going to slim down from what he had at Arizona. So there's no damn way in hell he's finishing as top 5 or top 10 running back this year. Then at 5, we have Marlon Mack. Alex talked about Marlon Mack earlier. We all talked about him. So I'm just going to go past that. Marlon Mack at 5, Nyheim Hines at 6. Nyheim Hines at 6, I have a little bit of information. The Rivers, obviously we all know Rivers targets his running backs highly, like more than any other quarterback in the NFL. It was 4% more than the second most in the NFL. He targeted his running backs 31.7% of the time last year. Pretty high. It's pretty high. 1/3 of his targets would go to a running back. It's pretty insane. So yeah, expect Nyheim Hines to have, if he plays that Eckler role or just a receiving back role in general, expect him to have a number of targets, number of opportunities. Then move to Darington Evans at 7, Duke Johnson at 8, Ryko Armstead at 9, and Chris Thompson at 10. Not much to say about these people. I'm not a big fan of Darington Evans or Duke Johnson. But if David Johnson does get hurt in Houston, people are finally going to be able to see Duke Johnson, hopefully, in a featured role. I've personally been waiting for that since Cleveland when he got traded to the Texans. But, yeah, it's a little too late now. And then Ryko Armstead at 9, Chris Thompson at 10. Not much to say about either of those. Chris Thompson's going to steal some work from Fournette on passing downs. Armstead's just injury dependent. And, yeah, that's all I really got for the running backs.
Not a lot of fun.
Pretty solid options at the top, and then just a bunch of mess after that.
It's a crapshoot, yeah. All right.
It's very crapshooty.
Crapshooty for running backs. Wide receivers, I wouldn't say it's necessarily crapshooty, but
I would.
You guys are going to find out on that
next
episode. You don't like the wide receivers in this division?
I don't. I really don't. Not trustworthy. I should say that.
In deeper leagues, I am fond of these wide receivers.
Right, that's fair.
But anyway, that's all we got for running backs today. I'm going to dive into wide receivers in our next episode. Who wants to have a question? I got a few questions if you guys want me to ask them real quick.
That's a good question.
Let's hear it.
Let's just get to know, let's just let the viewers get to know us, okay?
Fair.
So,
I'm not liking where this is going.
All-time favorite board game.
Oh.
If you guys like board games. Alex does not like the type to like board games.
Alex doesn't play board games. Just like he doesn't drink soda.
Oh my God, he's above everybody.
Yeah, he doesn't do party night with the board games. Papa soda.
Explain to me. I just don't want to be fat again. Soda made me fat. That's my grudge against soda. Board games, while I guess could make you fat if you did nothing but play board. First, Monopoly is my favorite board game because good
Dang.
old-fashioned game of Monopoly is the
Old-fashioned,
best. But, like,
it is.
do I want to sit down and play some fucking Chutes and Ladders or something like that? No, I don't want this stupid-ass pair of dice to decide my fate. I don't want to flick a fucking spinner and have that decide whether I win or lose. Do you know how competitive I am? That irks the shit out of me when I lose at Candyland to a bunch of 7-year-olds because I just keep I keep rolling ones. All I can move forward is one fucking space each time, and they get all the shortcuts, and I don't.
Now,
It's
is
just dumb
Twister a board game?
I would say it's a board game, yeah.
I guess.
Twister's
I don't-
up there. I like that.
You would.
The physical
It just-
activity of Twister.
just
Oh my
seems like
god.
And I never
too much
lose.
an opportunity for awkward scenarios.
Yeah, that's why. I
Like,
pass on
who do you
that.
play that game with?
Yeah, I guess family.
Yeah, until like,
Even then.
I'll pass on
yeah,
that.
it's until like I gotta put my head right next to like someone's ass. Like, I'm good. I'm good on that, Dad.
Just be sure it's not Taco Tuesday.
Oh, Taco Tuesday, that'd be rough.
I'm playing Twister. What's your favorite board game then, Brandon? And then did Ed? What's yours too? I don't know if you were agreeing with
Monopoly
me.
for sure.
Good.
Yeah.
Brandon?
I'm trying to think of my favorite board game, but they're all kind of trash. I don't like board
Trash.
games that
You're the one
much.
that told me I was above everyone for not liking board games.
Card games are better. I like Uno.
I was gonna
Uno's
say
a
that.
good
Okay, what's
game.
your favorite card game?
Uno. I like
mean, like-
Apples to Apples a lot too.
Oh, I haven't played that
It's a
in
fun
years.
game. I don't know if we're talking that or we're talking more like poker games. Like
That's fair.
Texas Hold'em is pretty fun.
Okay, they're pretty fun.
Yeah, I don't.
Blackjack is pretty entertaining.
I like blackjack. Yeah, but why do you like
Yeah.
blackjack? I mean, you kind of put your fate on the cards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. It could be a very frustrating game to play, but it's like a 14. You're like hit and king.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
But
I'm screwed regardless.
if Alex is playing blackjack, he's playing it with older people. But if he's playing Shoots and
Not
Ladders,
really. I'll play with my
younger,
roommates, and I
7-year-olds.
mean my roommates aren't
Yeah.
older than me.
That's
So you
fair.
play Shoots and Ladders against 7-year-olds.
That's they all spend 7s or whatever,
I get like twos.
and you get 1.
What about Yahtzee? You ever play Yahtzee?
No,
Nope.
Pretty fun.
I probably have, but
I haven't.
All right, so we
I
get
don't know. Generally, there are a lot of other things I could be doing with my life than playing board games,
That is
like
disrespectful.
sleeping or crying in my closet.
You'd rather do that than play Monopoly?
No, that's why I said Monopoly is my favorite. But
Yeah,
my
I was gonna
options
say.
my options are sleeping and or sobbing into the wall or playing Candyland.
I love Candyland. I forgot about that one. That's a classic.
Candyland's alright.
That is just nostalgic. No? All right. Well, fuck board games to Alex. Besides Monopoly, he'd rather sleep or cry in a wall.
Or both.
Or both. Do it at the same time. Just cry and sleep. That's a great.
Multitasking.
All right. That is all we got for episode
All we
8.
got.
That's all we got. That's all we got.
Peace.
That's all we got.
So we got
All right. Episode 9. It's gonna be up here shortly. You guys should be able to watch it after this video, hopefully. Maybe the next day, something like that. We're gonna dive into the wide receivers in this division. So yeah. Word.
dive.